I put some Christmas gift wrapping paper in the car so I could bring it to the office so I can wrap some presents on the low.
What'd you get her? Or is she around?
Nah, she's not around right now. I got her
Well,
a
actually,
bag.
live. Does she
Yeah,
watch
no,
this?
I don't know. We should probably just not. We should probably just not.
Cut it.
Yeah,
Cut it.
just in case.
All right. Let's get going because we're on a little time crunch tonight. You ready? All right.
Don't forget them, even though we're in a time crunch. You forgot them last week.
I won't forget them this week. We're here, baby. Week 16, 2023, almost 2024, NFL season. And I got a phone call late, I think it was Friday evening last week, from the CEO of Diet Smoke. And let's just say he reamed me out. I mean, it was an absolute fail on my part. And this week, as always, as we should have been last week, we're brought to you by the greatest company in the history of the world, Apple, Google, Diet Smoke, Delta 8, Delta 9, THC, gummies, CBD, pens, vapes, everything you could ever imagine, anything you could ever want in life, you can get at dietsmoke.com. Code Nick and Bean, 20% off. We use it. We love it. We live it. It's a great company. Now, Nick, last week, I was 1-0-1. Browns push for me. I think you were 2-1, right? You're back to 500?
2-1, back to 500, baby.
Romy, salute, brother. Good to see you. Happy to have you in the chat. So solid week betting. We had a winning week. Fantasy playoffs. I had one matchup which I did win, which was in my league. So I've got 5 semifinals this week. It's a huge week. I'm trusting in the Lord above to bring me forward and trusting in the process.
Speaking about trusting in the Lord above, I got into one semifinal, and guess how it happened?
Tell me.
I'm down 0.1 at halftime, and it's a Seattle game. I think it's the Monday night game, right? Was that Seattle
that
Monday
was.
night?
Yep.
Yeah. So Jackson Smith-Njigba has 3 catches at half. And freaking the last play of the game, he finally gets his 4th catch.
Oh, you needed it?
Yeah, I needed it. He scored that touchdown, and bro, it was such a low scoring game. I just banked another lucky win in the tattoo league. I know these niggas got to be sick. They got to be tired of me.
Yeah, they're probably going to kick you out of the league and force you to get a tattoo. Rome, I did get a haircut, and I think this is like the first pod I'm ever not wearing a hat. So it looks the same as it normally does do, but I appreciate the shout out. Hopefully that's a positive haircut comment. Dolphins stomped the Jets. I saw you wanted to put that in there, 30-0. We own them. McDaniel owns Saleh. That was a great game. Now, let's get into impact players. Lead us off, Nick.
All right, so first impact player is Tampa Bay, the whole team. I honestly was down on Tampa Bay. I don't know if I gave that out as a bet, but I was definitely not. I was doubting them. I was all against them.
What's good, Rod? Welcome, brother.
Baker Mayfield, 381 yards in the air, 4 touchdowns, 158.3 QB rating. Chris Godwin, he had 10 receptions for 155 yards. He's actually questionable coming into this week. That's hinging one of the bets I want to fire on, but I'm not going to fire on just because.
I couldn't believe Baker had a huge week and Godwin out of nowhere, just monster.
Yeah. So shout out to the Tampa offense. They killed it this week.
All right.
Next up, player, Christian McCaffrey. You got the stats. Yeah, holler at it. You're better at this 9.
What do you have? 3 total touchdowns?
Yes.
115 yards rush. I mean, the guy is he should be the MVP. And I'm not saying that because I have a bet on him at 80-1 from preseason, but he should be the MVP. Purdy, yeah, he's a facilitator, but this is the guy that makes that offense go. What a fucking performance from him.
Yeah, if you look at the wide receiver, so I was looking at to see pick out some wide receiver studs, and I was scrolling down to see who had the most reception touchdowns. Because I look at touchdowns and yards. I'm looking for 2 touchdowns. It's McCaffrey. He's a top 20 receiver on the week, and that's not even his position.
He's a monster.
Yeah. The next impact player I had was Jalen Waddle with 8 big receptions, 142 yards, and 1 touchdown. Did Tyreek play at all? Yeah, he played a little bit that game, right? In the beginning?
No, he was ruled out. Thanks for noticing. But
Yeah.
Waddle filled his place. It was awesome, and he needed a performance like that. He's been pretty shitty all season.
Yeah, 30-0 win, very easy win for the Miami Dolphins. Now we got some marquee matchups. I don't know if I put this in a good order, but whatever, we're going to start it off with the team that we were already talking about. We've got Dallas Cowboys at the Miami Dolphins, Christmas Eve, Dolphins -1 and -1.5, -105, and total at 50, I believe.
Big total. Great game. The two top offenses in the NFL. Dallas was never higher before last week, and now they've never been lower. They got absolutely stomped by Buffalo.
Yeah.
Dolphins need to, for a chance at the 1 seed, we need to win out. And for the Cowboys, for a chance at their 1 seed, they need to win out also. This is a big game, Nick.
It's a huge game. I love it.
Huge.
This is probably the biggest game that Miami has left of the season. Miami has continued to just find ways to move the ball. Dallas gave up significant yards last week to James Cook, 179 yards on the ground. Miami has 2 running backs that are better than James Cook. We might have 3 running backs, 2 running backs that are better.
I didn't know James Cook had that in him. I've talked some shit about him in the past. Shout out to James Cook.
And Mike McDaniel can scheme. So he watched how they move the ball. He's going to be able to pick the Dallas defense apart, most likely. Obviously, we're a little scared with Micah Parsons, the way he can rush. But I think that's not like something that's going to shock you. You're not going to come into play Dallas and be like, oh shit, Micah Parsons is good. We know that. So like, I think they can find ways around working.
I think our biggest challenge is going to be that if we can stop them. We're hurt all over the place on defense. Yeah. They can run it, they can throw it. Ramsey's going to have to try and limit CeeDee Lamb, but they move him in the slot. They move him all over the field. You know, I don't think it's going to be a shadow job, but it could. It's probably going to be a shootout. This is a great game.
We're top 5 defense. They're top 6 defense. I don't know. I like our chances. Moving on to the next matchup.
All right, next matchup: Detroit Lions laying 3 points in Minnesota. The total is 46.5. Nick, I'm going to let you take this one because this is one of my pop picks.
Okay. So we've got a divisional game. We've got the Lions, who's a top 5 offensive unit, laying 3 points on the road. I mean, that's kind of tough to do, right? Versus the Vikings. Vikings got a solid defensive line. Hunter, I saw, popped up on the injury report. I'm not sure if he's going to go.
I think he's going. I think Danielle Hunter's going. Yep.
Okay. This game, Goff coming off a huge week, threw I don't know how many touchdowns. He hit for the prop god. I think it was 3 touchdowns he threw.
He had, I think, 4 or 5. I had him in one of my one league that I had a matchup in, and he went bananas.
Yeah, and he's playing indoors, even though it's an away game. It's indoors, so that's good for Goff.
I think the tough thing for Goff is the Vikings blitz a lot. So it'll all come down to how he handles the blitz, and also the Vikings defense. Though on the other hand, like they're so hit or miss. The Lions defense. Nick Mullins played last week for the Vikings. He blew the game. They blew the game. They should have won. And the tough thing for them is, no Madison is. Are they going to be able to get? Is Mullins going to be able to get Jefferson, Addison, and Hawkinson involved? If he can, the Lions have struggled in these spots this season. This is a tough game. I think the line is really, really sharp. So that's what I got on it for now. Yeah, that's what I got on it.
I think the Lions are the better team, but yeah, they're giving 3 points.
It's tough on the road. It's a great game. So all right, next game, and the Cleveland Browns, led by Joe Flacco, are traveling to the probably and very likely CJ Stroudless Texans. This game has moved all the way from Texans -2 when Stroud was going to play to Cleveland -3. The total is 40, and huge game for both teams. Playoff implications on both sides. Obviously the line will tell you that without Stroud, the Browns are a much better team as they're laying 3 on the road. But this game, D'Amico Ryans has showed us a lot in his first year. He's a solid coach. He always gets his defense up. Devin Singletary's been running the ball. I feel like, and what I'm seeing on the money, a lot of people are going to be on the Cleveland side.
Yeah, I couldn't blame anyone for betting the Cleveland Browns in this one. With Stroud out, I forget who even is the quarterback for the Texans with Stroud out.
Case Keenum played last week. They also have Davis Mills. I mean, Keenum's not too bad.
I think Keenum's pretty bad. I think Keenum's pretty bad. So I don't got much on that game. I wouldn't bet anything just because of the move of the points. And I agree with the move of the points. So I don't have an opinion on it. I would have taken the Browns. The Texans need this win. They're on the bubble. They're the AC currently.
All right. The game of the week.
Yeah.
The two best teams, best team from the AFC, best team from the NFC. The 11-3, I believe they're both 11-3. Ravens travel to the 11-3 San Francisco 49ers, laying 5.5 points. The total is 46. Nick, give me your thoughts on this game, and then I'll let you know what I think.
Yeah, they're both 11-3. We got a Christmas night game. Oof. So that last game was a Saturday night game. This one's a Christmas night game. Two of the just a great weekend of football. We got holiday. We've got football 3 days and 4 days this week.
This is what day?
This one is a Christmas night game. Ravens first 49ers.
Yeah, Monday night.
Yeah. But we've also got a Saturday night game. The Browns Texans.
No, that's
they're Saturday games. They're Saturday games.
Oh well, yeah. Browns Texans is not Saturday night. Saturday day.
Okay. There's 3 Saturday games. There's 3 Monday games, and then a whole shitload of Sunday games. Anyways, not to digress. So San Francisco, number 2 in total offense at 402.6 yards per game. Baltimore, number 5 in total offense at 374.1 yards per game. These teams both know how to move the ball. They both run the ball. So it's kind of old school football and showing you how important it still is to be able to run the ball in the NFL. While these teams have very flashy offense, teams like Miami are doing it with a lot of motion. It's yet to be proven that can work. The systems that the 49ers and the San Francisco's run has been proven to work in this league. So, and they're I'm not shocked that they're both number 1 in the league right now. So we'll see. And I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, this is a great game. And the Ravens look great in their last game. Lamar's not putting up crazy stats, but it's almost like he's playing perfect football. It feels like he's not running too much, but he avoids that rush. He creates open field, likely has filled into that Mark Andrews spot. The receivers honestly aren't that great, but when you combine Odell and Bateman and Flowers, you get enough. Keaton Mitchell going out is a little bit of a hit. His speed was really, really game breaking. And I feel like we hadn't even seen close to his peak, but Gus Edwards and Justice Hill can get it done. Now on the other side of the ball, we're going to really know how real this Ravens defense. This is what I'm looking forward to seeing. Is the Ravens defense the number 1 defense in the league? Are they as good as the stats say? Or are the Niners just too much for this team to handle? That is what I'm excited to see.
I think some of the things that I should have dove into this a little bit further, but I think some of the things that the 49ers do well does not bode well for the Ravens defense.
Yeah, it would seem that way. Their corners are decent, but you got to guard Ayuk and Debo. And then down the middle, Kittle is always a matchup nightmare. And then McCaffrey, they're going to run that outside zone read. Can Kyle Hamilton, the Ravens safety, really step up and be that game changer he's been? It's just such a fun matchup. And the line is big. 5.5 is big. It's a big line, but they don't want people getting these Niners in a 3 or 3.5 game. They want to make sure if you bet the Niners that you got to lay a big number because everyone's winning too much money on the Niners. That's the thing. So that Eagles game, yeah, they were on the road, but we were on it. It was a rat line. They were the better team by a mile. And maybe in the playoffs things change, but they don't want too much money coming on the Niners. That's why it's this big number. The total of 46, I mean, that's a perfect line. Who knows? 28-21, it goes over. 28-17. It goes like it's just such a tough total. I wouldn't be betting either side of it.
I think the total is not that tough.
What do you think? Oh, is it in your pod picks?
It's not my pod picks, but I have bet it.
Okay, well, if it's not that tough,
I might add it to the pod picks. The over. I think with both these offenses, I don't think either of these guys can stop either of these guys. Remember when the Ravens played the Rams? Was it last year, 2 years ago?
2 weeks ago, yeah. It was a shootout.
31-31.
Yeah, to overtime.
37-31. Yeah. I think, and easily, I don't think this one's going to go 60 points, but like.
Yeah, but
both
Nick,
guys.
you're forgetting all these games on primetime just go under. Every week they go under.
I don't think 46 is too low. This should be. It's
the
like,
the unders on Monday night are like 15-1 this year. I mean, it doesn't go over. That's the tough part. These primetime games, we're expecting.
Throw off the trends. This is Ravens 49ers.
All right. I love it. I hope we get that game. I hope you are 100% right. And
right.
I think football on Christmas is kind of bittersweet. Like, it's great to have, but it's tough. It's tough. Basketball's dead on Christmas. No one even cares about it anymore. The NFL, not only did they have one game on Christmas, like they're just loading up the schedule. They're like, thanks, we'll take Christmas from you. Sunday, Christmas Eve, like they just took everything. And no one even cares about the NBA on Christmas anymore. They used to have those great commercials and they'd hype it up. It's dead. Yeah. It's all NFL.
What happened?
They're still playing all those games, Nick. No one gives a fuck anymore, though, because the NFL.
Miami has a game this year, and I don't even care. The Heat have a game this year, and I don't even care.
When we had LeBron, I'd go every year. When we always had a home Christmas game, I would always go. Now I don't even know. I don't even know the schedule. It's terrible. It's sad. It's honestly sad, but great game.
We'll be back.
And I will be with my soon-to-be brother-in-law, Ravens fan. So that's going to be hilarious. Let's see, what's Romy saying? Christmas is a hockey game now. Oh, all right. Day? Hockey? Are we getting no,
isn't that New Year's Day? Do they do the Winter Classic? Is that
the Winter Classic? Well, now they do the Winter Classics all the time. They're awesome. Those are great. Those are so much fun to watch. Outdoor hockey is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I like watching that.
All right, pod picks. I know we breezed through this. This is one of our quicker pods.
Quick one.
I'm playing a little hurt. I'm a little nasally.
Playing in a away game.
I drove 13 hours yesterday. I'm in North Carolina. I can't even log on to the Hard Rock app, which is depressing. Nick, give me your first bet.
All right, my first bet is Colts plus 2.5. Earlier in the day, it was Colts plus 1. So this gives me a little bit of what do you want to call that? Pause. Because I'm like, how the hell is? I thought the line was already bad. How the hell is it moving even further? Like, is there something I'm missing? But hey, I'm firing Colts plus 2.5 because they're just the better team. They're DVOA. They're top 15 in offense and they're top 16 in defense. The Falcons aren't even top 20 in either of those stats. And that's just basically, those are pretty core, just how good is your team stats. And so I'm surprised to see the line just because they're a home team. They're giving them a short favorite. I don't like it. Falcons also have some offensive line issues with health coming in this week. Colts all day, plus 2.5.
Yeah, and all the money's on Atlanta. I actually looked at that one. 75% of the money, 68% of the bets on Atlanta. So I do like that Colts bet. My first bet is a gross one. It's disgusting. But when I got here last night at 10 o'clock, I drove all day long. You know what was waiting for me in the kitchen? My mom had cooked up chicken cutlets. All right. Yeah. We're not Italian, but you know who is? It's Tommy fucking Cutlets. The New York Giants are getting 13 or 13.5. I don't know what you got on the Hard Rock app. You give me whatever it's got on the Hard Rock app. You check it right now. Yeah. 80% of the bets, 70% of the money is on Philly laying what is it?
13.5.
13.5. Give me the points. Give me Tommy Cutlets. Give me Tommy DeVito. Give me Danny DeVito. That's a lot of points. And guess what? The Eagles have played like shit. It's the most publicly bet game. I got to just roll with it. I'm taking the Giants plus 13.5.
Like, yeah, the Eagles are going to win, but do they have incentive to shut this team out 30-0? I don't know.
They easily could. But It's just
On accident
in
and shit.
a sharp week like this, when you get into week 16, like there's so much info on these teams that Vegas knows a lot more than they did 10 weeks ago. So you got to find an edge where you can. And I just think with all the money shifting to the Eagles, this many points, I got to take the dog.
I like the logic. All right. My second bet. I know we have a rule on the show. We typically don't bet our team.
Oh.
I'm taking the Dolphins -1 at home. I think the line is pretty fair. But I think the Dolphins have enough to get it done. Like I said earlier with the James Cook example, they gave up almost 200 yards to James Cook. We have two guys that are better than James Cook. Even though our offensive line isn't that great, somehow we scheme it to get it done. I don't know what they're doing, but they're cooking. So
well, I hope you don't curse us with this bet.
Nick can't affect the.
Yeah, I can't bet the Dolphins. You're allowed to. You've done it before on this show as well.
Yeah.
So I like the bet. I like it. All right, my second and final pod play. We talked about this game, the Lions at the Vikings, and the Lions are laying 3, and everyone's taking the Vikings. It's the third It's the third most publicly bet game right now. Is Minnesota plus the 3 points? It was at plus 3.5. It's bet all the way down to 3. I got to grab that field goal number just because it's Nick Mullins. It's the Vikings. They're a fluky defense, like they blitz, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The Lions are a better football team. It's only a field goal. They just got to win the game. Romy's telling, Romy knows that Nick may have cursed the Dolphins. He's saying it in the chat. But I'm taking -3. I'm taking the Lions -3. I'm taking the Giants plus 13.5. Those are my two pod plays. I am better at gambling than Nick. Just remember, I'm over 500 on the year. Nick is 500. I'm better than him.
What's your record? Have you totaled it?
I will total it, but I know I'm
at
at least 2 games over 500. So I'm better than you. Follow my bets. Lions -3, Giants plus 13.5. How many more you got? Fire them off.
I'm gonna save these. I'm gonna hold these in sake of time, and we're gonna release them on the Instagram. These picks have been bet. I got a couple more. We're gonna fire them off on the gram.
I love that. Good luck to everyone in their fantasy playoffs this week. Good luck to everyone with their bets. Merry Christmas. We will probably be back. Are we going to be in between? Are we going to have a before New Year's, or it's going to be after New Year's?
I think we're before New Year's.
Okay, we got one more before New Year's. So Merry Christmas. Enjoy it with your family. Watch football, but don't ignore your family. Include your family. Acknowledge them. Love them. Give them nice presents. A little bit. But pay attention to football. We love you guys. See you next week. Peace.
You know the important shit. Feliz Navidad, Argentina.
Feliz Navidad, Argentina. We love you, Argentina. All right, you're the man.